Now I'm going to talk about what we are doing as a company, right? So one of the big things that we are doing as a company is that we are working to make the world better. If you notice, I had talked about how the preparing, and we have the printer option. But a lot of that has to do with efficiency. The efficiency of you getting your order very quickly, the efficiency of the guest not having to wait on the waiter or the waiters having to wait on the guest to give them the orders. It makes the world a lot more efficient. And then when those greater amounts of efficiency, as well as our own selves, I mean, we had a horrible time with our first demo of this software. As far as bad demos, that was the worst one I've ever had, which kind of brought us back to the drawing board. But when we went back to the drawing board and rebuilt it for that second time, before it ever even went into production, we added in a huge amount of efficiency ourselves so that it's really easy for you to set up, really easy for you and your clients to use, and it's very, very cheap for us to support. That's why we can give the basic software away for free. And we make it so that it scales to your needs by using these third-party developers, which can develop things using what we call an API. And there's a store, real similar to what you have for the Android and the like the iPhone and iPad stores. So developers can go inside there, create new software for you for your specific needs in your communities as you have. There's just a lot of different things that you guys need, and so we knew that we couldn't support all those things, but we want to support them. So that's why we're allowing third-party developers to develop software for our platform for you, and we made it really easy for them to do that. Another important thing that we've done is we plant trees. I have children. Probably some of you have children, at least nieces and nephews. And we think that every time you chop down a tree, another tree should be planted. And we know that a lot of people don't really agree with us on that idea. And that's okay. We can agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, we really want those trees replanted so that we have a safe, water to drink, clean air to breathe, and just a more diverse and beautiful environment to live in. So we donate about 10% of what we get. And this is the gross amount, not the net profits, but the gross amount we donate back to replanting trees. Part of that whole efficiency thing that I mentioned earlier, what we run very efficient, so we can afford to do that. We can provide the core system for free, and still, with the money that we get from the API sales, we're able to then plant trees. And so that makes you better because you get more clean air and more clean water. It makes the world better for our children because there's more diversity inside of it. And yeah, if you like what our message is, by all means, try out the software. If you have questions, contact us, let us know. If you have, we think you're awesome comments, by all means, tell us. If you have the other kind of comments like our guys are terrible, let us hear. We're here to listen. And we will work with you to do our best to make you happy. So what does Menu Gurus do for you? Well, as a restaurant owner, what it does for you is it makes your work a lot less, because people order for themselves using their own cell phones, or they could use your tablets, but we think that's kind of gross. Or they could use like their own personal computers or their work computers to order from your website. Now, when they make these orders, depending on how you have it configured, they may have to go to the cashier to give them money, or they can pay through the system so that the money goes directly into your merchant account, not through ours. There's no holding, nothing like that. It just goes into your merchant account. And then if you pay directly, then it goes directly to your kitchen. You don't have to interact with it. If it goes through the cashier, then if you have it configured that way, it's optional, then of course there's a slight delay in that process. But it's also for security reasons. We don't want people just ordering and the order goes directly to your kitchen and you don't even know where they're at, and people cook it but they never show up. So it's all about the configuration and how you want it done. But if they're in your restaurant, that may be exactly what you want. People can come in, they can sit down. There's a QR code that is on the table where they're sitting that is made specifically for that table. And all they have to do is scan that QR code, make their order, and if you have a quick serve restaurant, deli, food truck, etc., you can put the QR code where the line forms. A payment required, then they'll pay. If you don't have payment required, then they'll go straight to the kitchen and let's say that they get that first the entrees and drinks they ordered, and they want to order some more drinks, but rather than having to wait for the waiter to get not busy with the other 50 clients that are that are guests or customers that are in the restaurant right now, they can just open up their cell phone again and click on drinks, margarita, rocks, salt, send to kitchen. And that's all they have to do. And they can make that as many times as they want to. So it really makes it very fluid for your staff. And you can also have it, the system's smart enough to be timed. So if you have like a happy hour menu, as an example, then it's only going to be available during the happy hour. If they make orders for things that are not happy hour, then it just won't, it won't be there because they have to go to the happy hour menu, not the other menu. So things like that will allow you to fluidly transition between the various menus that you have available throughout the day. Like you have a breakfast menu, lunch, the happy hour, dinner menus, breakfast and brunch on the weekends, however you want to do it. The system can be configured with those times and dates. Let's see. Now that's kind of covered like for the guest, how fluid it is, and then but for you, the manager of this restaurant, what it really helps out with is it's going to make the process from getting an order from the client to the kitchen very, very seamless, and it gives you a better view inside your kitchen. So as the orders come into the kitchen, there is a you have a tablet inside there, like they would tap the like a new order pops up, little square. It says the order, the table name, the person's name who made that request for this entree or appetizer. This is what your cooks and bartenders would see. They would just click preparing when they start and prepared when they're done, and then it shows up in the waiter's queue. They would click preparing, and they like start like 4 or 5 things at the same time. So preparing. You don't have to use that system, but we recommend it because it keeps an eye on you as a restaurant manager or owner, what's going on inside your kitchen. So as these things are being prepared, you can see it. As things are done, they just tap, prepared, and then those things are automatically show up inside the waiter's queue. If you have waiters, then it's going to show up inside the waiter's thing for them to go ahead and take these items to the guest, and then when they get it back, they just click on delivered. And now suddenly you actually have these amazing metrics just by tapping these few buttons. And maybe it's too much work. Not a problem there. Our system also integrates with the very traditional printers, so that these orders are just printed out, printed out on a piece of paper. It's nice and long, very descriptive of each item, so that as they're cooking these dishes, it's just it's a no-brainer. It's very straightforward. The receipts follow, or those tickets follow them, the dishes around to the kitchen, probably the way that you do it now. And then when it gets to the waiter station, where they pick up all the order up, they know which table and which person each dish belongs to. So very, very fluid how it all works together. And let's see what else. There's a whole bunch of reporting and stuff, but it's really the gist of the system. Thanks for your time. Please use our system to make your restaurant run better and your guest to be happier.